So are you tinkering the idea to run a half marathon? Is there question marks hovering around that? Are you kind of intrigued to see what sort of training that you would need to do? How hard would it be? Would the body be able to handle it? Are you going to get injuries? Are you going to get burnout? Are you going to be able to finish it on the day? All these things are going to be running through your head. And I'm going to give you 3 things that I want you to focus on and think about when we're talking about training for a half marathon. Okay, so there's no doubt where I'm into running, and if you're following on, most likely you're either into endurance or you're into just that kind of nice fit feeling that you get from doing some sort of aerobic activity, just like walking, hiking, running, cycling, swimming, triathlons. Let's just say you're someone who can walk relatively fast, maybe even jog every now and then for a good 60 minutes. Let's just say you're someone who has a full-time job, or, if not both, have a family that you've also got to look after. Let's just say you like the idea of running, but really diving in kind of freaks you out a little bit. Okay, so point number 1 is going to be prioritize the volume aspect of your training over the intensity side. Now, there seems to be a lot of people that misjudge what intense training actually means. It doesn't take much, considering our very overly stressful state of living these days, to be in an overstressed state. So when I say prioritize your volume over your intensity, the idea is to make sure that you can actually get to a point where your volume and your endurance and your kilometers under your feet, or time under your feet, is actually going to increase as the time progresses. Okay, so let's say that you have 20 weeks until you're going to run a half marathon. So majority of these weeks that you're going to be training is you want to prioritize the volume side of your training program. Okay. Is it going to be worth you going out as hard as you possibly can initially out of the gate? Probably not. And is it going to be worth your while to be doing a speed session when your focus is to, 1, do a half marathon, and 2, you've got all these other things that you need to think about, which is your family, your work, and all these other things that happen as part of our life in general. Start out nice and leveled, see what your body can handle comfortably, and then look at building a plan that allows you to actually increase the volume. Intensity can be applied later if you feel like it's necessary. But majority of the time, people stuff up their running programs because they go too hard too quickly, and they focus on how hard or how intense their running is versus what sort of things are you doing allowing your kilometers and your endurance to actually build as the time ticks over. Okay, point number 2, my clients are going to laugh at this one, but you want to be consistently inconsistent. I want you to take a look at a week or a fortnight's worth of training. You have a plan, let's say you're following a program, and you might have, say, 10 sessions or 12 sessions that you would like to do over the 14-day period. What of us go wrong with programs is we try and follow a program so strictly, thinking that that program is actually going to give you all the results that you're after. But realistically, the training sessions and the training program is just the stress component. It's where you adapt and where you allow your body to rest, recover, that you get all the benefits that we're actually after, which is allowing you to hopefully run 21 kilometers. So when you look at it over a micro phase, again, either a week or a 14-day period, okay, you look at your training program and you've got to be very inconsistent with your training. Now, what I mean by that is you need to listen to the body. So we always hear that fitness builds when you be consistent. Absolutely agree with that. You've got to be consistent over time, but that's looking at things on a much bigger scale. When we're down in the actual program, the training sessions are going to be really quite inconsistent. Let's say that you train on Monday, you train on Tuesday, and you rock up on Wednesday and you start training and you notice that there is a big sense of fatigue. You might be sore still, your Achilles might be starting to play up a little bit, meaning that's probably a good idea for you to actually not do that session. So that's inconsistent. We get a lot of problems where we try and follow a program. We go, all right, on Monday I'm going to do this, and on Tuesday I'm going to do this, and on Wednesday I'm going to do this, and Thursday I'm going to do this. It's all great and well to follow a plan, to have a plan, because you need to have some sort of idea of where it is that you're going. However, when you're down in amongst the actual sessions, sometimes you might actually not be able to do certain sessions because you need the extra recovery. So that's where you want to be consistent on the long term of things, But within the micro, within the weeks, within the fortnights, you want to be very inconsistent, making sure that you're listening to the body signals. Are you ready to train, or do you need to rest? Point number 3 is periodizing your strength work. Strength work alongside of a good endurance program is critical, especially if you're someone who, again, has to go to work all the time, who might sit at a computer doing this all the time, like myself at the moment. It's a great idea to have a strength program that allows you to really get the musculoskeletal system to work in the right manner, okay? If you're new to running, but you may have done a bit of strength work in prior training programs, well, you want to make sure that we kind of clean the slate in regards to what sort of strength training that you would do for just pure strength. Because when we talk about strength for endurance training, it wants to be very specific. It needs to be done in a very controlled manner so that your form is maintained and you are not going to worsen the most important thing, which is your volume over time increasing, okay? Because if you're getting sore all the time, well, most likely you're just going to get more injured because you're going to go out running when you're too sore. Periodizing your strength program around the volume of the workouts and the volume of the running that you are doing, they don't have to be these massive strength sessions. All they need to be is a little bit of a preload here or a little bit of a micro session here where you are building the patterns of running and focusing on increasing your muscular strength, so that maybe when you're going to pick up the pace, or let's say you're out in the trails and you've got to kind of dodge from one side to the next, your muscles can handle that quick burst and that quick period of time where your muscles need to be strong. So periodizing your strength program, you want to know what you're actually doing, why you're doing it, and when to do it. Okay, that's really, really important. So making sure that you're not going to ruin the volume of your endurance training, i.e. if it's running for a 21k run, that's still going to be your huge priority. So how can we add some strength exercises to keep your body healthy and to keep you in a nice balanced training program so that you don't burn out and that you can get the most out of your running without you needing to do copious amounts of training sessions, okay? Okay, so that leaves me again with these 3 things. If you're trying to get from, I say, walkie / 60-min walk run, if you're thinking about attempting to go and do a half marathon when all these events start kicking back on again, these are 3 things that you're going to want to try and think about. It's really important that you want to make sure that you stress the body in the right modality. So the right modality is going to be focusing on volume over time. Alright guys, hope you like this one. Subscribe, hit a like, comment below if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time.